Okay, so welcome to the chill stream here from Shibuya. I'm currently in Tokyo right now to present at the Takeoff Tokyo event that is happening on Thursday, so a couple of days from now. I'll be demoing some things, some new things. I'll be doing a stream today, mainly kind of like playing with our new components, seeing if I can make something that is better than the current demo that we have. And play around with it and see where things go. This won't be a long stream because I'm in a small, as you can tell, a very small hotel room, and I don't want to, be kind of keeping the neighbors awake. I don't know if they're there or not, but I know that the walls of this hotel aren't very thick, so they can probably hear me because it's a very budget hotel. But anyway, so let me get the screen share up and running. Let's get the music going and let's play around with some of the component libraries that we have. And also see how well dual screen setup works with an iPad, which is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is to use my VR headset. So Apple kind of talked about that Vision Pro, and it's funny because I kind of feel like I live that future. I mean, maybe not as nice as Apple's implementation, but I do like when I'm here, right? Like I take my headset with me, packed, and I use immersed VR to kind of do work when I'm in a hotel where I only have a Mac and the screen. It's a 15-inch screen, and that's good. But sometimes you just want to have some docks on the right, maybe the chat on the left, and just get like work done, and this works great for that. It's not the best, but it works. The funny thing is the limiting factor is not the headset. The limiting factor is the Mac. It doesn't have the cooling to run at the necessary frequency to stream video into the headset, unfortunately. So yeah, can't really do it for very long before it starts to lag and stuff like that. So that's something. Frieza noticed the t-shirt, so now I'm expressing it. I'll be making good use of them during the conference or event on Thursday and Friday. So yeah, I think it'll be kind of cool. I'm gonna make more of these eventually, and hopefully be able to give them out. Let's get the screen sharing started. I also got a haircut for those who might be wondering. I'm pretty sure nobody's really wondering. But I'll be presenting on stage, so I thought I would probably be best if I got a haircut instead of the thing I always do with my hair is just to cut it short. Let me do some arrangement of my displays real quick, because my iPad is here, but I've moved the mouse on the other side. So let's get that set up. And hopefully you guys don't hear the music. Let me put on the AirPods. Just to make sure that there's no echo or anything like that. But yeah, I really do kind of think VR is a really good way of doing it. computing. Like actually, one of the things one of the shower thoughts I had the other day is, why do laptops have batteries? Wouldn't it be interesting if somebody made a laptop that didn't have a battery, and you either have to plug it in or have like a battery bank kind of thing that you just plugged in. Um, I think in reality there would definitely be times of like, damn, I wish I had a battery in this thing, but like maybe 95% of the time it would be fine without it. And yeah, it's random thoughts that I think about. But anyway, so let's talk about what we're going to do today. So we have, over the Builders Weekend Hackathon, created a couple of interesting new component libraries that I do believe are open source. So I want to showcase those on the stream real quick. And then we have a new experimental library for dealing with Google Sheets. And I'm going to try and see if I can get an agent to deal with Google Sheets automatically. I'm not sure if I'll do it in the stream. We might not have time for that. But I do want to show the things that I can do. But anyway, let's start. For the keen-eyed among you, you might have noticed there's something called ExpressAI Platform over here. And that is the platform for your agents. It's not quite done yet, but we're getting there. And yeah, it allows you currently to kind of one-click start a Xircuits session, essentially, that you can use to build circuit files and test things out and run things. But that's only the beginning of what we're planning to do. We're also planning to have the ability to have services, which would be like long-running jobs. Like, back up a bit, there's kind of two main features of the platform since the beginning, which was that you could create Jupyter Lab sessions and that you can create jobs. And the idea there is that you would want to run your Jupyter Lab sessions in kind of like low resource kind of machines. And then if you wanted to use a GPU for training, you would do that in a job, not in your Jupyter Lab session. Because most of the time the Jupyter Lab session is idle as you're thinking about things or analyzing data or programming new things. So it's very wasteful. So anyway, the platform does have support for jobs, but if you want, jobs aren't really made to be like 24/7 things. So that's why services exist in Kubernetes, and you're trying to add support for that in the platform so that you can choose a circuits file that happens to be something that opens up a port, for example, and we can then assign a port to that and allow you to publish it onto the internets to be some sort of thing. So you might be going, well, how do you publish a web page in Xircuits? Well, that's what the new Flask component library is for. So the Flask component library is pretty simple. You create the app like so. You do have to give it a name. So I'm going to give it a name of hello or something like that. We have our little hello world app, and then you can define routes. So we have support for get and post. Others, there's a quick hack away to do that. And what you can do is specify, like the route of the route that you want to use. So for example, in here we can do / to define the route, and then there's an on-get triangle that will fire. It's essentially like a event type of thing, and after it has been defined, this triangle is what gets run. So after that, you can start the server, like so. And you can debug it. Debugging doesn't seem to work in Jupyter Lab, apparently. But that is, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. But with this, you have essentially the world's dumbest Flask server. It doesn't even respond to anything, but we can respond. So what I think I'll do is we have a Flask return string response. And then if you hook on get to that, if I can get the trackpad to cooperate, it does seem to be kind of related to the way I used my trackpad. Some other people had no problems. Anyway, you specify what response you want it to be. So if you do hello world exclamation point, you now have the hello world Flask application. And you can just hit run, and that should run by default on port 5000 if there are no issues. And you might be wondering, well then how do I see this? Because I'm on, inside of my Jupyter Lab, I can't really see anything. And that is a good point. But there is a way to do that. You can use ngrok. So if we go to the project and run ngrok 500, it'll give us a little URL that we can use to visit the site and see it from the outside world. And there you see hello world. And just to show that it's not completely fake, I can change things. Let's say double click this, make it super exciting. Hit save, close that, rerun it. It doesn't auto rerun, which might be a cool thing to do. I don't expect people to be kind of like making their websites in this, but if people do, then yeah, it'd probably be nice if it auto reloaded. And yeah, now you can see there's 4 exclamation points. It's super excited to be alive. And yeah, you can also return JSON. So this is mainly the thing I think most people will be using, which is to return JSON. You can get your form thing. So if we call Flask get form value, then anything that's posted from HTML will get sent to there, and then you can use that to, for example, set a session variable, for example. So yeah, like we could do a really simple kind of dynamic web app here real quick. So we can first go, does the Flask session or counter exist, right? And if it does, let's go to the control flow, a little branch component here. So then we can hook up whether or not it exists. So if it does exist, we can do a couple of things. Let's get the session, then increment and set. Okay, so let's get counter. Let's put that up there. And then let's also set counter here. But then after that, we need to increment. And I have a feeling there was an increment. No, we don't have an increment. Do we have a map? Oh, we do have a counter component. So take our counter component We start with 0, I guess. This counter component is a little weird. Probably should get rid of it. We're going to step on ones and then take the out value, hook that up into the session. And then make sure that we set it into the session. Like so. There we go. And then instead of a string response, let's be a little bit more interesting. You can render templates. So if I were to make a, let me copy, for example, the inbox. Let me copy the login HTML to a hello HTML. And that is not what I want there. I want to open with the editor. And so now I can say hello, and we have the style sheet, and I don't know, in the middle, let's just have this kind of whatever and say hello visitor. And then instead of this thing, say, let's do visitor number. And then I think you can do some mustache templates. I think let's check I think we gotta check the inbox. Again, I don't know why they render the HTML by default. That's like very few times I want that to happen. All right, it's mustache, right? So we just have a little mustache template that says counter, something like that. Let's get rid of the other things. Okay, hello visitor number counter. So that's like our page. And if we go to our circuits diagram, we can render a template. So let's first do a set item. So after we've set the session, we can make counter be this out number, whatever it is. And now we have a dictionary that we can then render. And then if we hook that up there, we hook up the dictionary to the card. So we put the template name to be hello.html. I think that's pretty much everything. We can run this. And then go here, and then we access, we get an internal server error. That's how you know it's real. Branch component has no one false. So yes, I should probably think of that, right? So if it does not exist, we need to put it in there, right? So we make a last session set. Put, I guess, here. So let's put in counter value 0. There we go. Number 0. Okay, and then let's just redirect. Direct. There, back to slash. If I can get my Mac to cooperate, which doesn't want to, doesn't like working. There we go. Redirect to slash. Then because we set the session, then we'll go and do the rest. So let's just run that. Okay, refresh. And hello, visitor number 0. Oh, and doing that again failed. I have the feeling that that counter doesn't work the way that I want it to work. I think I need to set the step to 1. There we go. So let's rerun that thing. Okay, then number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it's a dynamic web page being rendered on a circuits diagram. And in general, it's not too bad, I think, in terms of complexity. It does kind of showcase the need for kind of generic events, so that's definitely something I think we should get to eventually. But yeah, you can totally have a full web app going just in circuits. So for people who are interested in that, just check out Xircuits. But yeah, the other thing is you can't really have a website without a database, right? Well, that's where the SQLite comes in. So we have a new component library that has support for SQLite, and it can do a couple of things. So the way it works is first you open the DB to kind of have its context available. It doesn't actually open it, just kind of saves the way to open it for later things. So that should work correctly. So let's call this tasks.db or something. And then you can do these with transaction blocks. And essentially, if there's an error inside of these in the transaction, it will then roll back the change. And yeah, when it calls this, it has opened up the database and started a cursor and all that kind of stuff. So we can do a quick, like, I don't know, let's do a fetch 1 here. And let's set the query to be something like, let's select count our users. Let's go query. And then we can print out the result. Like so. And this supports args in the form of tuples. So if you have a list of things, like we have question marks here, then that will actually run. And then after this transaction, put this here. There we go. So I think that's pretty much everything. And if we run this again, let me stop that and run it again because the thing's a little weird. Okay, fetch 1, print, and we have a row object. Yes, and that does kind of make sense. So you definitely want to get things out of the row object. Definitely do that. But yeah, we are able to get things from SQL databases in here and make a whole web app, really, within circuits, which I think is really cool. What else? So the other thing is I think the latest thing is the Gspread, which is Google Spreadsheets in circuits. And so this is the thing I kind of want to spend maybe half an hour playing with because it's brand new, and see if I can't get it running. So yeah, Google Spreadsheets is kind of cool as an idea, but man, it's going to be a little difficult to get set up because authentication is a thing. And yeah, that can be quite interesting. But let's try it out, I guess. So the main thing you need to do is enable an API. If I recall correctly. And we need to click that button and then click Google Sheets. Okay. And that gives you an API that you can use. Let's enable that. Okay, and I think we need a credential. And you can either have a service account or do OAuth. And in the platform, I think we will provide OAuth, but for this, I think we'll have to do a service account type of thing, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe bring up the docs that we have on this, if I can find them. This G spread is kind of private at the moment, but it will be public pretty soon once we can finish all the testing and things like that. Okay, yeah, and I think you just have to go to credentials, and then you go to manage service accounts, no, create credentials. Then you need to make a service account. And then you give it a name. So I'll call this Xircuits demo, so I know that I need to erase it later. And then we create and continue that. And the role is very complicated stuff. I think in general it should be like a Google Drive kind of thing. Let's see if there's a drive here. There's Document API, but I don't think that's Google Drive. Is there a Sheets API? Oh, you just leave it empty and it's fine? Grant this service again. Permission to complete access. Oh, that's interesting. Grant users access to the service account. So this would be where I put my name. Users inform access. This account users role. Or you can just leave that empty apparently. Okay. And is there a JSON for me to download? I guess so. Let's just do that off screen just in case. Then you got to add a key. Yeah, manage key, add key, create new key, JSON. Okay, so we have a key. There we go. Okay, that's cool. And then I think the next thing we need to do is add that into home, which I'm thinking would be here. I could be wrong. Do cd directory. Okay, so because I'm root, I need to make .config if we don't have one, and then gspread. Okay, and then let me upload the JSON there, and then move it from data projects that into I guess they want that to be called service account. It's easier to remember. Okay, so let's delete that abomination, which is this thing. And then let's go to the gspread test. So we have the auth, then the JSON path, and put the before. There we go. So now we can auth. Let's open a spreadsheet called leads. Something called leads in my drive, I guess. Sheets. Call this leads. Okay, so that should be good to go. And then we can, let's do like a hello world where we can say update 7. Would that work? Let's find out. Need to find out what my hands are doing that caused that to not work. So let's try to set something in A0. A0? No, A1. I'm too much of a programmer. Okay, A1. And the value, I think let's put hello world. Okay, so let's see if this runs. No module name gspread. Ah, yes, it is important to pip install things. In the data project, we should be able to run pip install -r components say gspread requirements.txt. Okay, cool. Now, if we run this, let's see if I did it right or not. No model gspread. Did I not install it? Or was there a problem? Cat. Oh, it's empty. Okay, then never mind then. Let's just pip install gspread. Okay, and with that, now we can run this. Opening spreadsheet, and ridiculous error. The Drive API has not been used in project whatever, or has been disabled. So, not sure what project it's. What project did I just? Didn't I just do this? Like. Credentials. It is in there. Okay. So let's run that again. Spreadsheet not found. So this is inside of where? Do I have to do like my drive? Or do I have to share the link? So complicated. Aha. I see. So the service account is an account, and it essentially has its own Google Drive. So you need to share that. Okay. And then now, if I run it, hey, it says hello world. How's that? Cool. So you can imagine that this is pretty powerful. It allows you to kind of add all sorts of output to Google Sheets kind of things. There's supposedly more, according to Frieza, there's more than what we have here. So let me update it a little bit. Okay, so that seems to be quite a bit more. So let's refresh. It's amazing how much the library has kind of, and this isn't everything, but you know, like I did add a bunch of stuff, and you know, we have a lot of things. There's still so many things to add. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Okay, cool. So we have all sorts of stuff now. We can read cells, update, read ranges, clear the entire worksheet, find, update, and create spreadsheet. An open spreadsheet from URL. That is a good one. That way you don't have to share the service account. You can just click share and then get the link and then do it that way. But yeah, that is pretty cool. And I guess if you share a folder with editor rights to your agent, then it should be able to update all of the spreadsheets and PowerPoints and Google Docs in your account there. Yeah, that is pretty cool. So let's see how far can we take this. We have append row and gives you a list of values. Seems like that's easy enough. Let's go to Zybo, shall we? Now, the interesting thing I want to do is to create a tool from that library. So let's see if we can't do that. So let me move this here. In the Hugging Face agent, let's make another tool. Okay. Output ref is correct. Now the name should be let's call it add row to spreadsheet. Okay, and then the description would be something like this one, I guess. So this is a tool that appends a row of values to spreadsheet. It's an in-named prompt which contains the values and separated. That should be compatible with our tools. So let's move this one up here and move this one down here. Something like this should be reasonable to see. And then when it calls this tool, we will authenticate with Google using the path that we put here. So I don't know if that's the default path or not. It would be kind of cool if that was the default path. Okay. I think this issue that I have here is due to my computer lagging. And Apple announced a brand new computer or two, and it's quite tempting because I have so many throttling issues with this one. Okay, I didn't notice the GC over here. I guess it's new. So I guess that makes sense. So let's call this leads. Yeah, Trio notices I'm using the platform. Yep, I'm totally using the platform. I'm kind of like an example of a bad customer who just wastes a bunch of resources. Okay, and then let's do should be sheet 1. Is it lowercase? Yeah, it's uppercase. That's fine. Okay, so now we have worksheet and an SH, which I don't know what SH means. We have a sh and a worksheet. And then we can append row. Right? So let's go here. Worksheet is that. I don't know what is the SH for. Anyway, the prompt is the input ref, which we do not want to connect here. I'm not mistaken. We don't want the tool ref to be there. But we do want this tool ref to be here. But we don't allow that. So before we init the agent, we will need to do the append list a couple of times. So we're kind of unfortunately running out of space here. This will be another one. So let's do that. Something like that. So after this, we'll append this tool to nothing, then this tool to here, and then this list is the one we want to append to. And then once we've done those two things, set that list to the tools. Okay. So I do think we have the tool, and now our input ref needs to be split into values. And I don't think we have a split. So let's add one. So we do have like concat string, right? So it would make sense to also have a split string. Let's have a very simple split string, which takes an in arg string and out list. Split. We need a character to split on. CH. I'll call this S. Out. That value dot split and self dot ch dot value. Very simple component. Yeah, Frieza added. So okay, so SH apparently stands for the workbook. So this is a problem. See, Lotus 123, which I think is, if not the originator of spreadsheets, is one of the first. I think only had support for one sheet in the spreadsheet. Spreadsheet file had one sheet. And Excel, in an effort to one-up them, made it so that you could have multiple spreadsheets, or multiple sheets in your spreadsheet. And because there were multiple sheets in your spreadsheet and that kind of sounded dumb, they coined the term workbook. And yeah, so an Excel file is actually a workbook. And inside of that, there are spreadsheets. But Google Sheets is just Google Sheets, and you have your sheets that have multiple sheets in the sheets. Fun times. Okay, so I think we should have a split now. You give it a quick refresh. Utils split string. There we go. And then just before we call append row, we split the input graph by comments. Yeah, I definitely need a more powerful computer. This is so slow right now. And it's all just thermal throttling. This computer it's quite fast for about 30 minutes. Okay, so do you think that the Hugging Face agent will be able to add data into leads? Let's find out. So this is actually currently running as Zybo. And that makes things a little interesting. And the answer is tail scale. I know. I'm trying to think of a way where I don't need to add more machines into my tail scale. But the answer is tail scale, like always. It is the answer to any and all networking things that you might have. So let's do that. Let's go to Windows, Linux, and see if this can figure out how to install itself in our platform. I think I'll do my YubiKey. Wow, that was installing a lot of stuff. Scale up. Installation complete. Login to scale. Login comes first. Can Tailscale not run inside Docker containers? I mean, it's kind of a good thing given what this platform is. I have another idea for hacks. So it kind of turns out that your data project here, and since I have the I can run. So weird because I can run ngrok no problem. So whatever. So ngrok, right? That's a thing. Can I use curl with that or not? It's gonna be a good question. Let's find out. Okay, so we have our counter app, right? So let's run that. Okay, and then we get into that and get into machine. Yeah, it's okay. So why am I doing it? It's mainly that Zybo is running on XAIJP web. So I want to SSH or SCP the Zybo into here, essentially. Right? Because that would work, right? Like if I have an untitled pi in here, that would totally work. And I can't install Tailscale, which didn't seem to work immediately. Means I need to find another way to get that file in here. And so my idea is, well, I can curl this and get a result. That would be good. But ngrok has that redirect. Is there a way to get rid of the redirect? Probably not. I need to have a header, ngrok skip browser warning equals 1. I think I can do that. H. How do you do everything? Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, that is good point. Very good point, because we do have a redirect on Slash. So I can check. We should have a public CSS bulma.css. Okay, so that works with curl. So that means I can go into Zybo. And I can go in here, open up the terminal, and the style, this untitled thing into there. Okay, compile it, save and compile. And if I copy untitled.py into public, here I can curl or W here. Okay. And then on type. Okay. So now G spread. Good point. Install G spread. Yeah, like it has the same library essentially. So I know I don't need to copy all the XAI components into it. And that is, so if I was using SCP, I would be like, whatever, I'll just do it. But if I have to copy the files one by one, that's not going to work very well. Yes, I did add a component. So what I can do is, let's go to the, go to this one, right? Yes. And then let's set public path to be the current directory. Is it going to like that? I feel it's not going to like that. But you never know, it might like it. Okay, so now if I get untitled pi, that works. Then I can get my components, say I utils, let's call utils.py. Utils.py. Okay. And then I need gspread, which in general is just a make dir xai components and gspread. And then I can curl G spread G spread components are G spread components. And then do the same with init. It should be empty, but just in case. Okay. So now, run it. That could be a problem. But I can fix that over here. So that is me being dumb about making this not be HF_agent, which is what it is. I made it first. I think the rest is okay. So if we go here and delete, I need to delete the remake it. That one. This one. Okay. Then update untitled file. Then I'll run it. I have to refresh Jim. Go here, refresh, save, compile, and let's run that again. Okay, untitled file. Run it. I guess I have to refresh everything. Okay, refresh everything. And then we compile. So we have a question about what is this UI, and this is Xircuits, and it's a ridiculously complicated Xircuits file, but you know, it kind of is the nature of the beast, and all the stuff that I'm putting in there. Anyway, well, that's not good. Let's discard the circuits, and maybe let's reload it. This. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I must have really broken it, because this make tool is totally referencing, you know, HF agent without the underscore, but this one I added with the underscore. So CI HF agents, and we want to make that XAI components HF agent. Problem solved. I don't particularly care that much about how dirty that was. But anyway, so I do believe I still have an issue with our Discord. So we will fix that now, because I've been meaning to fix it, but I haven't. So let's see. Let me take this picture. I'm going to go here, open it in the browser, save my download folders. Okay, now I want Zybo to take that picture and I need it to Zybo extract the total amount in yen in this receipt backticks document, right? And insert the result into the spreadsheet. Figure that out. I didn't program it in there. I have a feeling it is dead. So let's find out which. Okay, this is that. Oops, and my terminal. See what's going on. Okay, could not find image processor class. No, I think it's working. It's working. It's just nominal errors. So the theory is that since I have defined a tool for it to add a row to a spreadsheet, then it will extract the information from there. Permission denied. Good point. Makes sense. It makes total sense, because that is not I'm not running as root. Like, if you exploit Zybo, you're not going to get root on my machine, unless you're really good. So let's change that to be service account JSON, right? And then in here, we'll grab the latest version of that. Assuming I compiled. Did I compile it? I think I did. Let's do it again. And then let me copy the G spread JSON here so that I may grab it. So it's ridiculous that it was actually trying to do that. It's crazy. Typo is logged in. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay, so I need to copy this, add in the file, then while it is executing, we'll just take a look at this, take a look at this, and wait for it to do all the work. And if this does work, then I have a demo for Thursday. And I think that's great. Particularly because I didn't have to write any code. Well, except for splitting a string. But I think that's fine, right? We should have a split string component. Of course, Fariza wrote all the code. So, yes. But we didn't write the code to extract to OCR the amount of stuff in a receipt to then put that into the thing. We didn't make that integration. It figured out how to do that integration by itself. And that is a problem, but I'm going to say that's a win. That's a win. It did it. Just so happens that the United States are a bunch of idiots, and they use commas for their separators in both their numbers and their CSV files. But that's good enough. I'm happy with that. And I could probably fix that by maybe doing something else. And it's yen and not dollars. But you know what? That's fine. That's cool. So that was actually what I wanted to get done in the stream. And we got it done. So oh, did someone clip it? That'd be great, because then I don't have to do it again. Although I probably will do it again, because it did dollars, and that's not ideal. And because, yeah, I'm going to do something that's not numbers, essentially. I'll do something else, which I can't show on stream because it's like personally identifiable information. We don't want to be doing that. But yeah, the future is agents. And it's kind of ridiculous how capable the Hugging Face agent is compared to like baby AGI and stuff. I have the feeling that that's the best Mr. Meeseeks you could get. And probably it might be best to kind of, like, if we're thinking in production terms, you'll probably want a Hugging Face agent to do each task, and then a kind of baby AGI to plan, to maybe do things in parallel and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream there. Like I said, I'm in my hotel. There's people next door. I don't want to be being that guy who's just talking loudly at 1 a.m. and things like that. So I think I will be ending the stream here. And yeah, thanks for everyone who joined. If you're in Tokyo, go to Takeoff Tokyo. It's unfortunately not free, but if that is a problem, then contact me and you can help me out in my booth, and then that will make you able to get in for free. So it's a win-win situation there. So yeah, Takeoff Tokyo, June 8th to 9th. There'll be a lot of startups there. It'll be really interesting to kind of see the kind of startup scene in Tokyo. Antti is just like this amazing guy who's kind of, when he came to Japan, he realized, oh, all the Japanese people live in their bubble, and then all the foreign people in Japan live in their bubble, and these two groups, they never communicate. And then he just made it his mission to stop that and make them communicate. And he's really good at it. Uh, and yeah, so I expect that this will be a cool event. We will be sharing our booth with Stripe, which will be right next to us, and can't wait to meet people there. And if anybody's going there, please come and say hi. Happy to talk to you if you watch the stream or anything like that. And yeah, I will see everyone next week. Things might be quite polished next week. Probably not. But we'll be doing more things with agents next week. So join us, and I'll see you guys later. Okay. Bye, everyone.